Well, hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today we're going to be talking about these new liquid eyeshadows. So I got a new little liquid eyeshadow from Neutrogena and from Wet n Wild, and I picked out shades that were very similar. I didn't really notice that I did that. I just kind of picked the shade I was the most drawn to and the one I felt I would get the most use out of. And I thought I would compare them and let you know how they compare to each other because they're both from drugstore brands. So we're going to do a little, I don't know what to call this series, but it's like a this or that, cheap or cheaper, like you should, which one do you want to go for? So the Neutrogena one was $11.99 and the Wet n Wild was $5.49. I did get these both at Walgreens. And the Neutrogena one says it's sensitive skin, eyeshadow, and primer, and it also has vitamin B5. I thought I saved the packaging for this one. So I'm on Neutrogena's website to try to find the claims for the eyeshadow, and the first thing that popped up on their website is they have a collaboration with this brand called Nourished, and they're doing 3D printed skin health gummies. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's look for that eyeshadow. So it says it's a 2-in-1 cream to powder eyeshadow plus primer to effortlessly glide on your eyelids without flaking and delivers a long-wearing metallic finish that leaves skin feeling hydrated. The lightweight, long-lasting eyeshadow is formulated with a built-in primer to prevent creasing and smudging. It also has B5 for healthy skin. So this one was $11.99, which I thought was kind of a lot for one single eyeshadow. And this is the shade Warm Taupe. Here it is. Let's do a little swatch. Here's the applicator, just your little typical little sponge tip there. And this one looks really pretty in a swatch. Like, it's a color I'm glad I picked out. One that I will use a lot and get a lot of use out of. So I'm gonna use that on one side. And on the other side, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Shadow Silk liquid eyeshadow. I also got this at Walgreens. It was $5.49. And I have the shade Bronze Digger. Let's see what the claims are on that one. Because this one didn't come with any outer packaging, just that like plastic around the seal. So it says it features a wand applicator for ultimate precision. Each liquid shadow is easy to apply, dries quickly, and provides intense pigmentation with a shimmer finish. Vibrant color, pick your shade and go wild. This collection includes multiple colorful shades to suit any style. It's got an easy applicator, buildable color, and it's also cruelty free. So what's the actual difference here then? Like, why is this one more expensive than this? This does say it has a built-in primer, but in my experience, the Wet n Wild one doesn't need a primer to last all day long. So the biggest issue with these, and the thing that I think is gonna make or break which one you pick, is the finish. So although they both look very metallic and they dry down kind of similar, the Wet n Wild one does have a little bit more of a thicker look on the eyelids, and I'll kind of explain that as I apply it. But they're both very pretty, very similar shades. But I'm gonna put the Wet n Wild one on this side here, and I do already have mascara on, so I'm gonna try not to get it on my lashes. So the way that I've liked to wear these the best is just coat my entire eyelid and in the crease here. And then I'm gonna get a brush and kind of start blending the crease really quickly with the brush. Both of these dry pretty quickly, so I would only do one eye at a time. And in my opinion, it blends out really nicely with a powder shadow that's very similar to the tone. And I'm gonna use the CoverGirl Shimmering Sands Trio. Of course I had to. I'm just gonna pick up one of these shades and kind of help that crease kind of blend out a little bit. I have tried to blend these with my fingers and I think they look awful blended with the fingers because it dries so fast. When you're trying to blend it like this, it'll like stick wherever you're putting your finger at and leave like a little blotch there. So I don't like applying it with my fingers or blending it with my fingers. I've also found that when I'm trying to move it across the lid, it really just like erases. It doesn't look that nice. This is kind of the way that I found they look the best and I get the best kind of, I don't know, overall effect. So I am just gonna coat the entire lid. Hopefully you can see. Try not to touch the lashes, but that's what I get for putting mascara on first. All right, gonna get it all in the crease there. Gonna go with my little brush and right away start blending out the crease. And I can already feel that it's drying because it's getting really tough to kind of move the shadow around. But that's fine. You know, the fact that it dries quickly is good, I think, especially for a liquid. And there you go. This is actually the best that I have done with this Wet n Wild one. I think before I've been putting on too much, like making it too thick on the lid. This actually looks really nice. I am gonna get some of the CoverGirl powder and just kind of add a little bit more to the crease just to kind of blend a little higher. Just for my preference. But there you go, super easy. And I think that was done in like what, 30 seconds? Like an eye look in 30 seconds, I think that's pretty good. So let's go for the Neutrogena. I'm gonna do the exact same thing, just coat the lid and kind of move it around in the crease and then blend it out. I don't think I've ever worn these like this before, so I don't know how similar they're gonna look. But I'm gonna do the exact same technique. And this one also does dry down really quickly, so same thing with the Wet n Wild, just do one eye at a time. Like I can feel that that's already dry. Very hard to move. There you go, super, super easy. I'm going to get a little of that CoverGirl powder just to help it blend a little bit nicer. Those actually look really, really similar. I know the light is kind of bouncing off of them from the window, so it kind of looks like there's bald spots right here, but I think it's just the way that the light is, you know, bouncing off of all that metallic finish. So that is that. I think these are so, so similar, and I've actually never worn them together like this. I think they look almost identical. So it's gonna kind of just depend on which one you want to go for, which brand you like, which one you want to support. So in the Wet n Wild one, you get 0.18 fluid ounces, and in the Neutrogena, you get 0.22. Interesting, because the Wet n Wild looks like it has a lot more in it than Neutrogena, doesn't it? But this one actually has more product in it. That's interesting. This one is $6 cheaper, so you do get a little less product for it, but you know, if you want to get a little cheaper option, I think it works just the same. And they both are crease proof, like as far as I've seen, they don't crease at all, they don't flake, they don't smudge, they don't like do fallout at all, and although they do have that really nice metallic finish, and it looks like you put shimmer eyeshadow on, you're not going to get any of that fallout. I have worn these as well, like with a little tiny brush. I kind of just get some on the brush and kind of move it on the lower lashes. It also lasts all day long. I think these are both really awesome. I don't think you can go wrong with either of these. I only have the one shade, of course, so I don't know how any of the other shades are going to perform. But I think these are great. I think they're awesome. It's kind of up to you which brand you want to buy from and how much you want to spend. And I have tried the liquid eyeshadow from L'Oreal, and I don't like those at all. I bought a few of them when they first came out, and I took all of them back. I thought they were just not very good. This Wet n Wild one is definitely a lot better than L'Oreal, and the Neutrogena, it's awesome as well. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Let me know which one you would go with, or if you would try these all. I would love to know your opinion. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.